Starting. Welcome to Entertainment Banter. My laughing friend there was Matt.
I haven't laughed yet on the mic.
Oh, I heard you. And I'm Joel.
All right, I'm Matt.
That's Matt.
He's Joel.
I'm Joel.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. This is a good start as always.
Always a good start. So, in light of my new found career, we wrote this down earlier before of me taking this career path. Yeah. So I think we should talk about it. It'd be great. Okay. Lion King movie predictions.
Oh God, yes. Okay. All right.
So Disney has decided to remake all their cartoon movies, all their movies into live action, and it has nothing to do with really like I want to recreate it and all that. It's more like copyright rules and laws. They wanted to make sure their intellectual property stayed there, so they have to do something with it. It's the same reason how Sony was making the rebooted Spider-Man. They wanted to keep intellectual property in their hands due to copyright.
It's still a lame excuse, but go on.
Absolutely. So the only movie so far that they're making that isn't truly live action is Lion King.
Right.
Because it looks real, animated. But it's still animated, right?
Right. This is why you get married, Joel. My wife brought me some water. She heard me. I'm really loud, apparently.
Let Rachel know she can pull out the other gift.
What? There's more?
No.
Get out of here. Alright, so,
inside joke from the last episode's podcast.
Yeah, last episode. You gotta tune in to find out what happened.
That was weeks ago.
That was weeks ago. It's already outdated.
So Lion King. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it just be funny if they just reskinned the movie and said, "All right, here we go." But
we talked about it. The trailer was straight up the animated movie just done with CGI.
But we do know they got new voice actors, except Dave Earl Jones is still doing Mufasa. Everyone thought he was dead.
Did you say Dave? It's James.
I said James.
Well, I told you, all they have to do is take the sound bites of the first movie and just plug them in. You know, it's like, you don't even have to CGI the face. It's not like Star Wars Princess Leia, Rogue One, where they had the CGI her face.
But he's still, James Earl Jones is still alive.
Yes, he is, thankfully.
But he could easily, his voice hopefully gotten deeper because, seeing the musical a few times.
How deep do you want his voice? I mean, it was pretty deep to begin with.
So I've seen the Lion King musical quite a few times by now.
Yes.
And the Mufasa.
You're so dumb. You're terrible at what you do. I just want you to know this.
He doesn't, when he goes...
There's no secrets. Anybody that listens to our podcast can understand exactly where we live, who's in our family, what our birthdays are, what we do for a living.
We've probably told our Social Security.
But we are terrible at it. You can totally piece it together.
Probably in there somewhere.
Yeah. There's one person taking notes, listening in. I want to meet these guys.
You know who that is? It's Nick.
It is Nick. Nick, when you fly those planes, keep both eyes open. That's all I'm going to say. And if you make any announcements over the radio, it better sound like Galaxy's Edge. That's all I'm going to say.
I want to hear that. I want to hear his Galaxy Edge.
Oh my God. All right, let's move on. What were we talking about? We're talking about Lion King and how they should never do this, but they're doing it.
Bright suns.
Right, so.
That's so stupid. When the performer goes, Simba, everything the light touches is our kingdom. He doesn't have the tenace, the vocal range that
all right, well,
James Earl Jones has.
Right, but let's
Simba, you've only forgotten me. Remember who
everybody
you are.
Has to do their own twist on it. That's true. The rule in entertainment. If you're a performer, you definitely try to do your own twist. But
just like the Scar, he doesn't do it like I want it.
But movies, but I'm just saying, it's one thing if you're a performer, you always try to stand out some way. But when you are separating a movie from a Broadway show, I do appreciate that they do change it. Because
me too. It's its own thing.
Why would you go see it if it's exactly the same thing? Which is kind of the point we're making here. If
you're expecting the same story, but you want something different. It's going to be the same story,
but is it going to be different? Here's the thought.
How sad
are we going to see lions actually eating gazelles? Is there going to be blood on their CGI mouths? I mean, what's happening there? You know?
Well, the only scene you get to see them eating something is when I think it's when Scar gives the hyenas the zebra leg.
Are we going to see real lion banging? You know?
Why would you see that? You didn't see it in the cartoon.
No, they're just frolicking. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna, can you feel the love tonight? Are they actually going to do that, or?
Well, I'm curious. Like, first off, I'm going to cry because when Simba kills Mufasa again, you're going to go, oh, sorry, Simba didn't kill Mufasa. But when Mufasa dies...
Yes.
And Simba's adorable, realistic-looking body is going to be going like, Dad, get up. It's going to be so
Jonathan
sad.
Taylor Thomas did a great job saying that. We got to find somebody that has that cute little voice at the time before he hit puberty.
And then we have, and then Timon and Pumbaa. I want to see if they can nail it. I mean, it's Seth Green. Not Seth Green, it's Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Doing Pumbaa, and I forgot who's doing Timon. But Timon, have you seen pictures of Timon?
No, but I'm curious because...
He's so adorable.
Well, let me tell you something. I was watching... You know how Disney likes to throw their Easter eggs in movies, especially movies that aren't out yet.
Of course.
And so my son, as always, he's in love. I don't think it's that great of a movie, but he's watching The Jungle Book, the live-action one that Disney put out only like a year or two ago. And there's a warthog and a meerkat going to the pond to drink water. And I
really?
was like... Yeah, and I was like, oh, I bet you that's the Timon and Pumbaa for the Lion King movie they snuck in somehow.
They do that shit all the time. Every new movie they make, there's also a new thing to the next movie.
Yes, right. And that's why I'm saying I have and they actually have I think they have dialogue. So I'd be very curious to see if that's actually true, if that plays out. So, getting back to the CGI versus animated, what's going to be different? I think I would be more excited.
CGI is an animation.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. But I mean, what I'm saying is it going the animation meaning like the original?
Do you think they're going to change it a bit?
Well, I don't care.
It's a good movie. I literally just watched it, and it's still damn good. I'd like to see it word for word. I would be pleased, word for word, and just seeing it realistic. I would be pleased with that. But they're not going to do that.
Well,
there's going to be modern jokes. There'll be modern jokes.
Well, that's true too. Because, like I said, every actor's got to bring their own thing. But I would agree with your statement. The thing that sucks is, again, with everything, Disney's saturating the market so much. I mean, you got Aladdin and Lion King coming out in the same summer.
Two of their most popular.
In the same summer,
movies.
Guys. The same summer. I mean, come on.
I mean, Aladdin just dropped.
If you spread it out more, you know what I mean? I think people would be more excited about it. I think I would be more excited about it if we got like Avengers and we got Star Wars and we got one Pixar movie and we got one classic 2D animation film and then we got a special live action like the Lion King, even though it's not live action officially, then I'd be like, that's cool.
Real.
I would say that's pretty cool. But they're doing what they always do. It's like Marvel movies, like a couple of them. They're doing a couple of live actions, quote unquote. So it's like, it's like...
But they've cut back on the Marvel. Since Endgame happened, they're only going to do 2 next year.
Yeah. Well, I got to be honest with you, too. Well, because they don't know what they're doing anymore. They blew their wad, but Disney's like, nope, keep making that money. So now they got to figure it out. They don't have a set story like they did with this one. And I told my wife...
Matt's Happy Tip podcast more.
I know, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not looking forward to the Marvel movies because I just don't think as much care and attention is going to be taken into it. And I was talking to my wife about the last Marvel Avengers movie, Endgame, and I came to the conclusion that it's not a very good story. It's in a weird sort of way, it was like
careful
an
how
epilogue.
You step here.
When you're reading, I'm just being honest, like, you know how you buy a book and it has a prologue. It kind of gives you a little something that happened in the beginning, and then you read the whole story, and the story comes to an end, and then you get the little epilogue. To me, I the more and more I think about it, Avengers
epilogue's epilogue's like a post-credit scene.
Yeah, but my point is, it really, the whole movie now feels like an epilogue for all the movies. Like, the more I think about it, it's just like an epilogue.
What makes it bad? Why does it make it bad?
It's just, to me, it's misleading. It wasn't a movie, it was an epilogue. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of like,
movie.
Yeah, but it's just
epilogues can answer questions and give
right.
Get
but my point is that's a 3-hour epilogue. You know what? Will Iron Man ever redeem himself with his dad?
Of movies.
No, I know, I get it, and it makes sense. I guess what I'm saying is the only time you could get away with it would be Endgame. It really would, because, like you said, it covers all 20 whatever movies. You know, so I get it. It's an epilogue for all 20 movies, but really, it's an epilogue. You know. So I was just kind of like,
I don't know if I agree with you on that, but I can see where you're going with it.
Right. But
doesn't change the fact that I liked it. Did you not like it?
Sorry, I was trying to. I got distracted by some. Yeah, I got distracted by some information showing up on my screen here. Yeah. So anyways,
I didn't send you anything.
No, I know. And our one other fan was talking. So, anyways,
Nick?
No. Maybe we have more than one fan. Wow. Surprisingly enough. No. Anyways, so. What were we talking about? I'm not going to trash Endgame if that's what you're getting at.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, you like the movie still, right?
I have to watch it again. I think I only saw it once, to be honest with you.
No, I saw it twice now.
I don't hate it. The more I thought about it, I was just kind of like, eh. I mean, because like I said, it always goes back to what's the part you look forward to seeing the most. And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, what part stood out at me besides the obvious SJW bullshit that always keeps getting shoved down our throat? It's like.
Social justice warriors.
Yeah, if you ignore that stuff, what stood out? And honestly, the one part I can only think about that stood out to me was when Captain America got in that elevator and said "Hail Hydra." That was the only part that stood out to me. And I was like, oh, that was kind of cool.
Because it was a contrast. Because the last time he got in the elevator with those guys, he beat the crap out of them.
Right. But my point is, like, it was like a mirrored version of the right way happened, and then what could have happened if he was bad. And it was just kind of like it was a really fun scene to watch. Like, to me, I thought that was cool. But what I'm getting at is that's the only scene out of 3 hours, that's the only scene I really remember.
You don't remember, like, when Captain America got the hammer in his hand? Spoilers. Got the hammer in his hand, or when like, I guess he had the little hammer, or he had the big hammer.
Because, like, people knew that was going to happen. If they chose to do it, people were looking forward to it or expecting it. See, I'll give you a perfect example of the comparison where it was done right. So you're talking about a surprise where Captain America gets the hammer, right? Oh, that was such a cool thing to see.
I didn't expect that.
So, no, but I was expecting, I guess what I'm saying is if they were going to do it, I was expecting it to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I was expecting the Avengers to win, too. It's just, I expected Captain America to go back in time and stay there. I knew that was going to happen. Like, sure. To me, I wasn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't a surprise. The Force Awakens, when when Kylo reaches out to get the lightsaber in the snow, and it flies past him to Rey, that's unexpected. I thought that was a great scene. I get verklempt every time I watch that scene. Like, I thought that was brilliantly done. It makes me emotional. And they're playing Luke's theme. You know what I mean? It's just cool.
That was in Spring Awakening?
The Force Awakening, I hate you, stop doing that. But my point I'm making is, with Captain America grabbing the hammer, it's like, well, out of anybody, of course it would be him. So it's not like a big surprise to me. How did we get off? This is Lion King podcast.
We're not Lion King anymore? What happened?
I don't know.
You went on a whole tangent? I have no idea even how you got there.
I don't know how it started. Do we give a crap about Lion King, the movie?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, I was just gonna I'm excited to see it because I was gonna go see Aladdin tonight. But I saw Godzilla instead, and Godzilla was I liked it. For what it was, I liked Godzilla. I mean, it had its moments. You felt bad, you felt good, you saw good times, you saw bad times, and you got to see monsters destroy each other,
right?
And you got to see they're gonna make a King Kong one next.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, I like the idea of what they're doing with the Godzilla story.
I wonder if they're gonna do because they are. They made a story arc. They're making a universe of this. Like that's the new thing. That's the new thing. The create universe.
Give credit where credit's due. Marvel. That's. That's what people want to see.
They tried that with the Halloween movies, like Halloween and Jason and all that.
Yes,
they tried doing it with that, but it didn't go too well.
Well, I think the problem with those types of movies is the genre itself. Even though horror is a big genre, it's not all encompassing. You can't take your 7-year-old to see that.
No.
So you know what I mean? So I think when Marvel, it's risky, but you can take your 7-year-old to go see King Kong and Godzilla duke it out.
Well, here's the question. If King Kong and Godzilla are going to duke it out, are they going to use Peter Jackson's King Kong as, like, the origin of Kong out there, or what?
I doubt it.
Because it was kind of interesting how they did it in this. They kind of excluded it to, like, King Kong was not... He was in the movie for a split second, and they mentioned Skull Island, and Skull Island was a big part of it all. Right. But it never really mentioned, like, why Kong was there.
Yeah, just keep in mind Skull Island has always been the home of Kong, though. So
yes,
it's not anything new. So.
No, that's not new. And it's always been in the universe of Godzilla because Japan made Godzilla and America made King Kong, and they wanted the rivals to fight.
It was like that classic coming to head. It's like, Rocky facing off with the Russian or Mr. T. Right. It's just something people wanted to see.
But it was a good movie in itself, and I did enjoy it. I recommend it. If you saw the one with Bryan Cranston, right? The one before this one? Yeah, the origin of Godzilla in a sense.
Yes. And I thought that was the one that was tying in with this one, but it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, it is.
This is a sequel to it. Absolutely, because the same guy remember the guy that kept saying, like, so what do we do now? And then you look at him, he's the Asian guy, and he goes, yes. Let them fight. And I thought that was the funniest line. Like, who the fuck says that? Like,
Well, it goes back to what you were saying, the culture. Like, Japanese culture, I'm sure they would love that and get a kick out of it.
Yeah, so this is the sequel to that, and it's really, it's fun. It has its good moments, and they brought a lot of science into it to explain, like, why Godzilla does what he does and all this. And it's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's just like anything, he's like the underdog hero in a weird story like Kong was, but when you watch them as children, you think, oh, these are monsters. You don't really understand that they're actually the heroes in a lot of these movies.
Godzilla's the hero.
Yep.
And they use that they were so big, these titans were so big that they, sometimes you watch these movies and their movements don't affect, like, the world,
Yes.
Like, they walk and you're like, all right, no one's shaking. But in this movie, they exaggerated everything. So, like, when Mothra took off and swung her wings, everyone around felt that gust of wind, Yeah. And that's so cool. They did all that. The only thing that bothered me is that all that gust of wind and all that shit happening, no one was rubbing their eyes going, oh, there's sand in my eye. Because, damn well that debris would be in their eyes. It was so annoying. Like, out of everything to make it realistic, dirt in the eye?
Right. Well, I guess people don't want to watch someone pick dirt out of their eye for 5 minutes in a movie. They don't have time for that.
That's what happened. They should have been going like this one.
I need a wash station. Wash station. Yeah, no. That brings realism to the scene. We gotta use it.
Right? Did you ever watch Top Gear?
Boring as fuck. No, we gotta watch it. We gotta use it.
Did you ever watch Top Gear?
It's been a long time. I know.
So Top Gear is the three British guys that go over and talk about right. Now it's
they get to do a lot of fun things.
Now it's Grand Tour on Amazon. But anyways, they told the three, like, hey, make a movie that's exciting to see with cars. And they like the realism of it all. So it shows the guy, like, running to the car and, like, it's a Jaguar. So it's like the guy's like, and he, like, slides across the hood. He gets in the car. He starts it. You see them push the start button, and then you see him do all the controls and the button, like, setting auto launch and all this shit, and he goes, and it's like 5 minutes of him playing with the buttons to get the car to do what he wants, and then they go, and then you see the wheels turning, and he goes, and the director's like, what are you doing? And he goes, we're showing realism. No, we don't want to see that. We want to see you go. That's the realism. He has to set it to sport mode, or you're not going to go very fast. and then it shows him, like, when he pulls the e-brake, they pull the e-brake up. It's all exaggerated motions all inside the car. Right. It's so funny. It's like that's what realistically would be happening if you were actually driving like that. So I thought it was really funny.
That is really funny.
But people don't want to see that shit.
No.
But then they complain about, like, that's not possible. It's like, you fucking don't want to see it, but when you do see it, it's like, oh, that took so long.
Yeah.
Well, that's realism.
I think that's the problem with actually a lot of what's going on today, because I actually do like it when they take the time to show some of that stuff.
I do too. I enjoy it. when
you
I watched
breaks in between stories.
When I watched the Top Gun thing, I'm like, this is really cool, but I could see how it's not realistic.
Yeah,
in like a car chase scene or something like that, you can't do that. You want a car chase scene.
No, I get it. Well, I guess it just depends on the restrictions of time is always the key. You know, like what is worth seeing and what is not worth seeing, and what drives the story.
Right.
You know, my thing is, if you're going to do a franchise, like a continuation story through film, then you take the time to do it right. You don't rush it and then say, oh, I want to get greedy, so let's just cut it in half, because that doesn't work. You have to start from the get-go to build the story.
Absolutely.
But so, I feel like we're running short on time, so how did we do with Lion King? I mean, this isn't Lion King at all. All right, well, I'll tell you what. For me personally, when it comes to the Lion King movie, the original, I thought it was a great movie. I enjoyed the original movie very much when it came out. And I thought the music was great. I thought Elton John did good. Here's a question: is they going to use Elton John songs? Or are they going to do all new songs? You know, like I don't know.
Oh shit!
Are there songs in it at all? So that'd be interesting to see how true to the original when it comes to music.
Oh yeah, they're gonna sing because they did a whole new world for Aladdin.
Well, here's an interesting thought too, because with the Disney Beauty and the Beast movie, they incorporated the musical. So I'd be curious to see if the Lion King musical song gets in there or something like that, or which they change it up slightly or add. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Do we even know which songs are in the musical and which are not?
Yeah, there's the song about the lions singing and
the lionesses.
The lionesses sing and
the hyenas sing.
There's the king lion sings a song, and
you're dumb. He does. Simba does sing a song by himself.
I know he does. I'm just doing this because inside jokes. So anyways, I think the movie would be good. I think it would. I prefer to see that one over Aladdin. I just think
Will Smith's not a good genie.
No, I don't think that's the issue.
No Robin Williams.
Well, but he also admitted that he's no Robin Williams.
And you can't go into that role thinking you're going to do Robin Williams. That's the thing. You have to make it your own. If you try to do it by Robin Williams, you're going to fail.
Yeah, I'm not going to hate on Will Smith. I haven't seen it, but I'll tell you this: we're fans of Will Smith. You know what I mean? And he's doing a kids movie. This podcast
is fans of Will Smith,
and he's a fun guy. So I don't. You know what I mean?
He's made of mushrooms.
You got to get Robin Williams out of your head, to see that. I think what's turning me off with the Aladdin movie is the other characters, like the Jafar character, the Aladdin. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's like I don't like the trailer where Aladdin's like, really? Like I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's the writing. I don't know if it's the actor's delivery. I don't know if it's the directing. Yeah, I don't know if it's directing. There's just something about it that's just not working for me. And the same thing with Jafar. Jafar doesn't come across to me as a scary Jafar. Does that make sense? He comes across as like a swindler type Jafar, which is not the same thing as a scary Jafar.
Well, he's supposed to be a swindler. Just like you said, for Aladdin? So Lion King looks like they took it straight out the cartoon, right, but Aladdin they changed it.
Yeah, I think that's why I think Aladdin. I think Lion King would be better than Aladdin, just based on what I'm seeing. But they haven't shown much in trailers either, to be honest with you. So I don't know.
They showed a little bit. They showed Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah. So what do you think overall? I'll go see it for sure, and I know I'll take my son to see it. I'd rather take him.
I'm gonna go see Aladdin probably this week. I'm gonna see if I can hit it tomorrow night after work. But Lion King, I do want to see. I hope they do change some things. I hope they add some new songs, like you said, like from the musical. Right. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to seeing them on the screen again. Like it's almost like your childhood again, coming back out.
Yep.
There was a year that things are all happening at once. Like it was when Jurassic World came out. Jurassic World was in theaters. Ghostbusters was it was a weird year where everything was. There was
a few summers that
where it felt like it was my childhood again because the same movies are all coming out again.
Yes, Ninja Turtles was coming out. Michael Bay.
No, but there's something during Jurassic World when it came out. There's other things around the same time that were the exact same things coming out at that same time. It was just weird. I forgot what it was, but I don't know.
Gotcha.
Maybe Nick will tell us in our comments.
Right. Comment below, Nick. So yeah, do you have anything else to say about Lion King?
No, I'm excited to see it. I want to see it. It's gonna be cute. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna love it because everything. I hated this line. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. What about that shadowy area there over there, Dad? What did I just say, son? Everything the light touches that is beyond our borders.
Yeah,
he does say it. He says it every night.
Oh, well, that's a little different, buddy.
I watched it. It's word for word in the cartoon. He goes, "What about that shadowy area over there?"
That's right. Simba asked that, but Mufasa doesn't say, "What did I just say?" So, well, I guess on that note, I don't know. Let's stop talking, I guess.
Some small technical difficulties, everybody. Now we're back.
All right, so okay, wait. Let's just.
He says it. He says it in the cartoon. Everything the light touches is our kingdom, and Simba replies, is that shadowy area? Something about that. What about that shadowy area? And he goes.
And he says that's beyond our.
That's borders. Beyond our borders. But in my head, I'm thinking, no, son, what the fuck did I just say?
Well, maybe because this is a more serious adult-based film, he'll say that. And maybe after he says that, he'll smack him off Pride Rock and say, think about what you've said. Think about what you said.
You piece of shit. I also noticed in the show, the night before Mufasa dies, Simba asks, Dad, we'll be pals forever, right? You'll never leave me, right? And Mufasa goes, son, let me tell you about the stars.
Yes.
One day the sun will set on my time and rise for your time.
Yes.
So he ignores the question like a good politician.
Well, yes, but he's also answering the question, too.
He is. He's pretty much telling that I will be dead, but I will still follow you.
Yeah, it's just like Obi-Wan Kenobi telling Luke that Darth Vader killed his father.
My final thought on this is that moment, when Lisa... Remember the saxophone player in Simpsons?
Yes.
Is James Earl Jones. And then he died. Bleeding Gums Murphy. Yeah. And he's up in the sky and he goes, Lisa! Blah, blah, blah. And you hear, Simba. And then you hear, this is CNN. It was all the voices he does. And he goes, guys, I'm trying to do a moment here. And he goes, oh, sorry.
I forgot all about that.
Even though it's corny, just his voice and him being in the clouds of being like this overshadowy person to me, is just it gives me the chills. I just like hearing it.
That scene and the music that they wrote, especially the score, is beautiful during that scene. It gets me teary eyed every time. It's one of my favorite scores that Disney's done, actually.
Because it's so true. The whole image of your past is in your past. It still hurts. But it's in the past. You can't fix it. All you can do is move forward. Learn from it. And it's a great message. And James Earl Jones I'm so glad they got him again. I don't see anyone else being Mufasa.
No.
It's the only repeat person, I think.
There's no way you should ever recast that role as long as he's living.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas is probably, he should have been adult Simba, and this would have been funny.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's better than Matthew Broderick.
He's probably dead. Who knows? Is he alive still?
I have no idea. He has dropped off the face.
I'm watching a lot of Home Improvement, so...
I think he just probably retired. I don't know.
Alright.
So anyways, are we done with this?
I feel like we hit the end of this. Yeah.
Simba. Okay, alright. Well, thank you for listening to Entertainment Banter. I am Matt.
And my name is Joel. And I'm done.